Yo people, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for another video. Make sure you smash up the likes every single damn time and subscribe if you are new. Pause. What? I didn't even say anything mad.
No, I actually mean pause the video. If you think anyone wants to hear from you again, you boogly-eyed bastard, after you destroyed our club, you've got another thing coming. Wanted this Maurizio manager, pick up your camera and what's left of your dignity and get the fuck out the studio. No more videos for you, big man. No more. Boy, if you don't sit your ass down over here and come take a look at this. You see this? You caused this. The gremlins have gathered round. That's right, the Chelsea fans are outside your house. They're ready to sacrifice your soul.
Max, look, those idiots don't even know where we live. No!
You better pack a bulletproof vest and that ski mask you always be wearing on the Big Six, because there ain't no adjectives, no punchlines that can save your clock. You are finished. You know what? Go get a shirt and a funeral jacket for your troubles. It will make it far easier to explain to your loved ones the cause of your death, you dickhead. Oh my days, I know this motherfucker ain't sitting down for no press conference. Ain't nobody want no explanation from you coming here to waffle about who the next manager should be and what needs to happen next. Nobody wants to hear your context or your cries for help. There will be no fucking forgiveness. If not for you, we would have Nagelsmann. If not for you, we would have Enrique. Now you want to talk. Nah. What you need to do is pack your shit with Pochettino and get the fuck out of the club. Go and suck on a lemon, my dog. Oh my days, brothers. Is this blind boy deaf in the head trying to tactico tease your way out of this mess? Boy, if I don't pick up that board and beat you round the head with it. We don't want to hear about your 3-4-3. You already shafted one of our wingbacks in Matson out the door, and now you want to switch system. You already shafted Lewis Hall out this door. Now you want to switch systems. Boy, if you don't get out of this studio and stop delaying.
Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Out! Get 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 out! Out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out! Get out my side.
Finally. Good to see that your scrawny should have stayed in the scrotum looking ass has made it to the door. Do not let it hit you on the way out. And make sure you put them Oreos down before you leave. Ain't nobody told you to touch those, you dickhead, yeah? Furthermore, you will pay for your sins against this institution that is Chelsea. We promise more than you can believe you will pay. You will pay. You will pay.
Because that's the fucking standard. Because you come here and know you fucking lose. It's nowhere near, guys. It's fucking shit. I'm telling you, shit.
No. We don't want no roundabout either. I told you to get out the studio. That doesn't mean to make content outside. You must cease to exist by sunrise, brother. Keep it moving. Right, well now that this dumbass donkey in disguise has found his way to the bus stop, we can finally talk on brothers who do know ball. Let's get to the tweets. Important information. So, some at Chelsea feel that Lawrence Stewart and Paul Winstanley should face more questions, particularly their failure to sign an experienced striker in the third window, obviously, of their tenure. The fact that they've worked closely with the board members has spared them to date. It also follows on to say that their position is under spotlight and in review due to player recruitment as the club identify factors behind the struggles. They have been stockpiling youngsters to the point where there is no culture at the club now, no leaders, which I've been saying, for these young players to learn from. That's why you have to have balance. Look at Foden the other night. Who did he learn from? Silva and De Bruyne. And over here, we just have kids copying immature kids. It's clown behavior. And this is why I want them gone first, because they're the ones that are culpable. Let's just take a look. Hold on. This brother's getting on the bus, finally. So, for me, it's quite clear, guys. These sporting directors have got to go first. I don't mind if they all go at once. I've said it in my last video, in my review. They should all go now, right? But the reason why they have to go first is because we're no longer in a window. This is an opportunity now to bring in a serious director of football who can then assess the manager, if he wants to, for the rest of the season. Maybe he'll even assess these directors beneath him. But a serious director of football from a serious club who have won things. Now, as that fraud makes his way to the airport via train, we continue with the serious business. Pochettino believes his time is coming to an end, with sources regarding him as a dead man walking. He already knows he will not be in the dugout. This is from the Byline. If you don't know the Byline, that's from Alex Goldberg's podcast. I used to be on there, I used to co-host. Now, there's also been talk coming out of this, revelation that he's not enjoyed his time at Chelsea. He's not enjoyed working with some of the people behind the scenes, and the working relationship is described as not good. Why is this all coming out now? You know what it's like with the briefing. They give the information as they wish. Now, I don't know if this is to try and paint Pochettino in a bad light, as they've done previously with Tuchel and other people when they've wanted them to leave, or what is going on, right? But for me, again, it's another potential fracture between manager and ownership, or manager and board, manager and director. And how many people, I mean, Enrique being one of them, Nagelsmann definitely one of them, walked away from this job or didn't agree terms before coming here because they couldn't see eye to eye. And the more managers we go through in such a short space of time, the more other managers will look at the situation as one they won't want to risk their career on. So the elite level managers that people crave and want are going to be turned away from this job because A, the board are not supplying you with your needs and wants because they're going with their own vision, which is okay. Those circumstances are normal at football clubs, but this vision is extremism. It is under 21 or bust. And no manager wants that. No manager wants, even managers that enjoy working with youngsters don't want to work with this many youngsters. It's too many players to improve at once. There is no balance in the team, right? Now it goes on to say Pochettino wanted a left back and a striker in January. I don't sympathise with him on the left back. If you are going to switch to a 3-4-3, which there has been reports of, Ian Maatsen would have worked in that 3-4-3 wonderfully at wing back. Even Lewis Hall, who we got rid of for pure profit, who will be signing for Newcastle in the summer, would have been a very good left wing back. Now Chilwell could potentially do the job, but I'm not Chilwell's biggest fan right now, okay? Obviously we see transfer decisions are under scrutiny. Again, one of my reasons for kind of losing the plot with Poch is that he hasn't remained consistent in his presses of recent weeks. He's gone from making out that Broja is the second coming of Harry Kane to being completely okay with Broja going out on loan to Southampton, to then apparently he wants a striker, but now he said, no, I don't need one because I've got Washington. But then Washington doesn't get onto the bench and we play two goalkeepers on the bench instead. It just doesn't make any sense. You're not being consistent. You seem like you're trying to pander to the board at the same time as the fans, and that's not going to work if the results are also not coming. You're trying to play the middleman, and for me, it's not going to happen. I've said it before. This board, this ownership, they want a yes man. They want someone who's going to collaborate, right? That's always the word. But I don't want to be complicit in that. I don't want to give the green light to that, because it's going to just put us in more problems, in more of a mess. The manager has to have backbone. Now, I don't think they're going to bring in a manager of backbone, but that's neither here or there. Doesn't mean that I have to sit here and agree with it. Now, it goes on to say Pochettino is under no immediate threat of being sacked, although there is naturally some increased pressure with Chelsea in the bottom half of the table. Obviously, same thing we heard with Graham Potter. They can have their calmness within the club. No unplanned talks or board meetings took place. If the results keep going left, if he keeps losing these games, Villa, the cup final, we got Man City away, Palace away, he will be sacked. Because the pressure will be overwhelming, and you know how much these guys care about the image, the PR, the look of the club, which is in tatters. But the fans online, the media, the perception, if it's not good, they will react. We know that. We've seen that before. They're going to be stubborn because they've made this decision to bring him in. They're going to be stubborn because they know that this reflects incredibly poorly on them. And I always said, if this manager doesn't work out, these guys who hired him, who gave him the tools, who gave him the filling to put in the middle of the sandwich, they must pay. I'm sorry, you must be accountable to your actions, to your decisions. But they're going to be stubborn because, of course, they need this to work out, because otherwise, like I said, it looks very poor on them. Now, we continue to keep getting the mixed messages. The pressure is growing, of course, Fabrizio says, right? It says also that the players are not responding to analytical feedback and information. Certain players are said to have shown difficulty accepting critical feedback. I don't know who these players are. I'm not going to sit here and speculate which players are, because I don't know. But again, this is a lack of potential backbone behind the scenes. And this is what happens when maybe the manager, but also the lack of leaders in the squad to correct and steer these players in the right direction. This is why you have to have balance. This is why I'm not going to accept spending 20 million on Washington, spending money on Datro Fofana so he can score goals at Burnley, spending money on all of these youngsters and triple, quadruple stockpiling in each position Okachuku when you've already got Andre Santos, because this money that we've spent, regardless of how talented these players may be in the future, this money could have been spent to bring balance, to bring experience, the right experience, to guide and to completely nurture and shield these players and make sure that they learn from these errors and cut them out, stop them at the source. But instead, it's just young people following young people, and the few experienced people we have, they're not leaders. That's the problem. They fear that sacking Pochettino could breach financial rules. Again, this is another brief. Now, this is an excuse to potentially keep him in the job. But my question is, I thought we were fine financially. I thought that there was no problems. I thought you guys knew what you were doing. So you can't have it both ways. Either we are 10 million away from being in complete shit, which is not a comfortable position to be in, or you are handling your finances and that means you can sack him. You can't have both. Either you screwed up financially, which is if you get us dock points next season, if you go too close to the red line in terms of FFP, if you mess up the financial side after messing up the footballing side and the cultural side, because the club there is no connection now. There is a lack of feel at the club, continuity. So if you mess up on all of these levels, I mean, come on. Now you're taking the piss. So this can't be true. I'm just gonna chalk it off as fear mongering, because it can't be true. It doesn't make sense, because someone's in big trouble if it's true, right? And then they go on to do as they always do. The hope is that Nkuku returns from injury, Ben Chilwell, Conor Gallagher settled, AFCON back for Jackson. This is all gonna bring stability and strong finish to the season. Okay, lovely jubbly. More hanging hopes on individuals, not knowing, once again, that probably more people are going to get injured in this time. That's just the unfortunate reality. And obviously we know that they're not planning on sacking him right now. He is still in the job. He will be for Villa. And he's under review, okay? And certain players are also now under the spotlight as well. And apparently the squad morale is at an all-time low, and that people are saying that people are leaving training early, and I've mentioned all of this before. Now, the final thing is obviously Bella, you know, putting out that tweet and not deleting it. I've spoken about that on All You Can Eat Chelsea. Check out the episode that went out on late Sunday night. It looks like there's differing opinions on Pochettino behind the scenes. People are split on whether we should let him go or not. The general takeaway from all of this, guys, is that it feels like there's many opinions and many cooks in the kitchen, just as we said there was last year with Christopher Vell leaving because he didn't get his say. He didn't get enough of a say. He didn't feel enough power in his position. And if there is a split opinion here, you can bet that there's a split opinion on transfers, and there's a split opinion on everything. And it feels like everybody's just doing their own thing. You know, you got a sporting director with Brighton ties that brings in Sanchez for the goalkeeping coach. You've got Joe Shields who gets his Lavia when he wants him. You've got Lawrence Stewart probably picking up whoever he wants, and it's all just a mix and a mess of different players from different directors who want to prove their point that they can be the guy, or they can, you know, gain credit for their super signing. But when you put all of these players together, it is not a team. When you put all of these players together, clearly, and I'm not just, listen, Pochettino, we already talk about this guy. We know that he's not performing to the level required. But even with all this money spent, even with a new manager, we know that there's a ceiling to how high this team is going to go. We know we're not in a title race. This is probably not even a Champions League level squad, let's be honest. Probably Europa League, which is absolutely atrocious and abysmal and embarrassing for the amount of money that we've spent. And that is a real issue. We should not be in a position where we're saying, oh, we need 3, 4, 5 players to fix this team. We need a striker, a goalkeeper, a left back, a winger, a centre back. What? Do you know how shameless that is? Do you know how embarrassing that is after all of this money spent? That you need more on top of what you've already brought in. Sack these directors, man. Absolutely ridiculous. So they can have all their differing opinions on the manager all they like. But I know for a fact that these directors are taking the piss. And I'm starting to think that these directors, guys, have been given the power from the ownership, the Bowies, the Egballies, and they've just taken them for an absolute joyride. They've just taken the absolute piss, because I can't understand how Bowie has gone from wanting Ronaldo to now relinquishing power on a day-to-day. Egbali brings in these brothers, and now we're looking at kids. I know the wage bill needs to come down. I know Roman was running the club off his own debt, but this is ridiculous, guys. 20 million for Washington to not even make the bench over 2 goalkeepers. Give it a rest. So, everybody in trouble. And now, speaking of trouble, this brother here that you see on screen, yeah, get him off my screen. Get this clapped, crusty, dusty clown off of my screen before I absolutely bollock him, bruv. Yeah? You're finished. You're finished, Matisse. We don't want to hear from you again.